Okay, good morning. This is Mr. Laskowski or Joe Laskowski. I'm going to take you through a quick tutorial here on how to set up a classroom for your Google Classroom. Okay, so first of all, you want to make sure you are logged into your Meriden Google account. Okay, you see I've got a new web page up here. Let's ignore the rest of the stuff I've got open here, please. So you can see if I come over here, I check, I see a little J here, it says my Google account, and I am logged into my Meriden K12.org Google account there. Okay, it says Joseph Laskowski, and that is my Meriden K12 account. So if I click on this array of 9 dots here where it says Google Apps, go ahead, click there. It's going to pull up a bunch of different Google features. And the one we're interested in today is right here. It is the Google Classroom. So go ahead and click on that. Okay, so you can see that I am already involved in a number of Google Classrooms, this coming after the conference call yesterday with the entire staff. But to set up a new classroom, I'm going to go ahead and click here on the plus, and it's going to give me the option to either join a class or create a class. Okay, as a teacher, I want to create a class. So I'm going to click Create Class. And it's asking me for the class name. So for instance, I could do algebra, I'm going to call it Algebra 3. I don't have a class called that. Section, for the section I've been using the period number. So we're going to call this period 1. And the subject, I don't know, advanced. And it could be anything you want there. Room number, I'm room 200. Again, that's optional. You don't need to do it. Once you have all this squared away, you've got the class name. This is what the students are going to see. If you keep this for the period, that makes it a little bit easier for the students to understand what period they're in, make sure they're in the right class. Subject, advanced algebra, could be anything, could be English, could be music, could be just about anything you're teaching there. And then you hit create. Gives it a minute, and it should be popping up here shortly with my created class, and there it is, Algebra 3. Now there's a bunch of different features here that you want to know, that you want to be aware of. First and foremost, this class code here, the DLCEDZ, that is the code that your students need to have to get into it if they're going to self-enroll. Okay, so if the students are going to go to their Google Classroom and enroll in your class, they need this. Where we have been putting those, okay, if you double click on that and then right click and say copy, okay, so again, that was double click on it so it's highlighted, right click on it, copy. And then yesterday you should have received an email. You can see this is all my just wonderful email here. So, okay, so right, where is it here? There should have been all kinds of stuff going on yesterday. So anyway, if you go to your Google Drive, you should see access to the Platt High School Google Classroom courses. So if you go to your Google Drive and you search on this Platt High School Google Classroom, so let's try doing it that way. I'm going to shut this down. I go to my Google Drive. Okay, so I type in Platt High School Google, and it pulls up that spreadsheet, that Google Sheet. I click on that, it opens it again. And what you're going to want to do is come down here. If you haven't already set it up here, you're going to have to scroll all the way to the bottom. Okay, scroll all the way to the bottom here. And then add your name. So, I don't know. Okay. I'm just making that up. Joe Johnson, course name, whatever. And then that code that you had, okay, you're going to want to right click on this cell and add it here. Okay, and that is a code that gets into that classroom that I just created. What this spreadsheet is going to allow students to do, this is going to be linked to the Platt home website, and that will allow the students to find your class and get into your classroom. So make sure after you create your classroom or classrooms, you go ahead and list it there. Let's take a look at one other thing you want to do here. Okay, another option for enrolling students, I'm going to come back over here to the tab for that class. If you go here to your people, okay, under people, you're going to see two different options. See teachers and students. This little icon here allows you to add people. So for instance, here, I'm going to click here. I of course want to add Gary Maratia. Okay, here he goes. I just type in MAR and he pops up. I also want to add Jeff Kenyon. He's the administrator for the math department. Okay, when I do that, click on invite and boom, there they go. They're added. You can do the same thing with students. So if you know you want to add a student, let's say, I don't know, I'm going to add Jeremiah Johnson. Okay, good. So I type in John Johnson, pops up. I can add him. And you can go through your entire roster. If you want to add your students manually, you can do that as well. So that's pretty straightforward on how to get students, how to set up your classroom, how to get students into your classroom. There are other videos available. I believe Nancy Atterbury and Dave Ullman have sent out videos on how to use Google Classroom. Plus, if you go to YouTube and search on uh, Google Classroom, there is a wealth of information there on how to use it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at joseph.laskowski@meridenk12.org. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day.